we have to make the reasonable judgment. So that for the improvement of all these critical thinking, we should have the some ideas, so that we will give the information and the knowledge madam will share with us. And about the another aspect about the problem solving, that is the what is the problem, and what how to define the problem, what are the root cause of the problems, and how to improve the for solving the problems, so that she will highlight the informations. So today for this seminar we have the important dignitaries. We have our Professor Dr. R.J. Jhende sir, and Principal Investigator of this NAIPCAST MAPSU project. We have, as I mentioned, Pushpalata Chaure madam. So now I request our Professor Dr. R.J. Jhende sir to again, because today we have some of the participants are new, so to introduce about our speaker. Jhende sir, please.
Thank you, Vilas. Very good morning to everyone, offline and online participants. Uh, Respected all the dignitaries of the Nahib caste, ICR, then university authorities, our associate dean, Guru Madam, and all the PIs, co-PIs, and the Nahib team. Uh, Today we have another topic in the soft skill development, that is critical thinking and problem solving. So there are four sessions will be conducted in this today's session. And for this, again, Mrs. Pushpalata Chaure madam, she is yesterday nicely elaborated the goal setting and the uh, timings of the good timings for the solving achieving this goal in your life. And today she has another assignment, that is critical thinking and problem solving. uh, Definitely today will be some different participants will be there, so I have to again once again introduce for them about madam Mrs. Pushpalata. She is a behavioral and motivational trainer and coach with a 9 year reach experience in this area, and she is training so many employees of the various corporate and academic sector. She is also working very closely to the educational and industry sectors for the employees to understand the need traits for their professional career and workplace success, handling situations, creating personalities with a strong focused mind and behavioral training. She has also trained employees of the government organizations like us, educational institutions, corporate sector in the areas of various the areas of training are the leadership, the critical thinking, image building, image management, then behavioral techniques, communication skill, business and public presentation skills, then team building, team management, interpersonal skill, fear and anger management, stress management, career guidance, and career management. These are the areas wherein she is an expert who are giving an the soft skill development programs. She has interviewed with various employees of the staff for appointment in Doordarshan, Sayadri, and also some programs she has handled on the Sayadris like Atmavishwasatun Vyaktimatvacha Vikas. Under that, she is always there to introduce some of the reputed personalities in the societies for the knowledge of the common people. So with this brief introduction, I invite Madam to deliver today's talk on the uh, critical thinking and problem solving. Madam, please.
Thank you, sir, for such a wonderful introduction. And welcome, everyone. Good morning. Good. Today, energy is wonderful. Nice. After having breakfast, I can see the effect. Good, good. So, How are you doing today? Good? Or all right? Good. All of you? Okay. So how do we start today? Exercise? Yes, fantastic. I was waiting for that because somebody should say it. All right. So all of you are ready? Yes? Some of you eating, so I'll take 5 minutes, no problem. You can finish your food. It's not going to be heavy exercise, some light exercise will do. So how was your day yesterday after going to your place from the lecture? How was it? Good? Did something? Yes? Revision? 5 minutes activity? Anybody who's done it? Remember or forgot? So anybody who has done that 5 minute activity in the morning and before sleeping of visualization, who's done it? Anybody? If you have done it, you can raise your hand. Yes, you have done it. Wonderful. Anybody else? Okay, so how did you feel when you did that? What was your experience? Okay, very good. Continue this. All right. Okay, wonderful. So everybody is done with tea and breakfast? Yes? So all set? So please stand up. And everyone out there, if you are in a classroom or some place where you can do this, please do that. Okay? And people who are sitting behind, they can come in front because there are a lot of seats vacant here. So let's place. Stand comfortable because obviously you will have to move. So give yourself some space.
आगे कौन है सचिन? Come this side. Yeah.
Okay. So do you all know that game Simon Says? Right? So I'll say Simon Says and then I'll say something. Say Simon says jump. You'll have to jump. Okay? Like that. So whatever I say, you have to do that. Or you want something else. But then space is little okay. Okay, so we'll do Simon Says today. Okay? Simon says jump. Simon says stop. Simon says turn around. Simon says turn left. Simon says turn right. Simon says walk in front. Simon says walk left. Simon says sit down. Simon says get up. Simon says sit down. Simon says get up. Simon says clap. Simon says stop. Simon says put your hands up. Hands down. I didn't say Simon says. Okay, so only when I say Simon says, then you have to do it. If I don't say Simon says, you don't have to do it. Okay? All right. So Simon says, bend down. Simon says, look up. Simon says, stand straight. Simon says, touch your shoulder. Touch your head. Lovely. Okay. Simon says, put your hands on the shoulder. Simon says, put your hand on the waist. Simon says, jump. Simon says, jump. Simon says, jump. And jump. Okay. Still some people are doing it. All right. Fantastic. Simon says, turn around. Simon says, turn around. Simon says, turn around. Simon says, put your hands down. Simon says, put your hand, one hand on your head and one hand on your waist. And Simon says, shake, shake, shake. Come on. Okay, don't be shy. Simon says, shake, shake, shake. It's like dance you do. When you do dance, this is what you do, right? Okay, Simon says, relax. Simon says, put your both hands up in the air. One hand down. Okay. Simon says, put your hands down. Simon says, put your one leg up. Simon says, one hand up. Relax. All right. Simon says, give clap to your partner. Give clap to your partner. You can turn around and clap. Give a clap. Right. Okay. Simon says, laugh. Laugh louder. Simon says, laugh louder and louder. And louder. Okay. Simon says, relax. Simon says, sit down. Simon says, get up. Simon says, sit down. Simon says, get up. Sit down. Simon says, get up. Simon says, jump. Jump. All right. Simon says, jump 3 times. Simon says, stop and sit down. Thank you. Thodi energy aayi? Yes? All right. Fantastic. You both missed it. Okay. Don't worry. After lunch, again, we will have something so that you don't doze off. Okay. So what is the subject today? Critical thinking and problem solving. So what is critical thinking? Anyone? Can I have the presentation on? No, ये कल से है. Critical thinking. Right. Yes. Okay. So critical thinking. What you see here? Left brain and right brain. So you know what is left brain and right brain? Their functions? No? So now here you can see very clear what your right brain does. So what is written over there? Rhythm, color, shape, maps, imagination, daydreaming. And on the left side of the brain, what is it? Words, number, lines, list, logic, analysis. So what do you understand by this? So what is your right brain? Yes, wonderful. It is creative side. it helps you to be more and more creative. So if you see any creative person, maybe a painter, maybe dancer, and people who are coming up with more and more ideas and doing a lot of creative things, so their right brain is in dominance. And on the other side, when you see people with more of logic, more of reasoning, maybe you can see software engineers and all, they have to apply so many these kind of things, right? So their left brain is in dominance. So can anyone tell me, are you left brainer or right brainer? Okay. If one of your brain is in dominance, then how we can activate the other brain? If some of you said right brain is down, so how can you make your left brain activate? So even logic and reasoning and other things that can also be good. We have seen many people who are good in numbers, logic, at the same time they're very good painter, they are writer, and they do right brain activities also, right? If you see Einstein also, he was left brain was fantastic, and right brain, his music knowledge and everything was so wonderful. He used to play music instruments as well. So it's not that you can have a dominant. So you need to understand why I am not being so creative, why I'm not getting good ideas. How should I do that? So first acknowledging that what brain is dominant. Once you know that, then you can work out on other things that we need to do. Yesterday we did that small activity. How many of you can do it today without any mistake? At least 10 set. Anyone? So these are small things. To be a creative, okay, you don't have to do something very big, or okay, you can join classes, you can learn music, you can learn painting. If you're good in painting, do whenever you get time, do painting, go outside, go to the outdoors. Nowadays, everybody is stuck with their mobile phones. So those routine we need to change. We get very fixated with one thing, so we should not have fixated mind. If you want to have critical and creative thinking, you want to be that kind of a thinker, then you should not be fixated. Just to give you a small example, at home or maybe some other place, wherever you sit, you will say, I will sit here only. This is my place. And I will not share. Or if anybody sits there, you get very frustrated. Or if you sleep on the left side of the bed, then you will not allow anybody else to sleep. So this is kind of fixated. You are not flexible. The more flexible you are, the more better, because then your mind is open, your mind is adaptive. You don't have one frame, fixated frame. So don't operate with a fixated frame of mind. So once you're ready for that, then you can slowly have good of both. Your one is definitely better, either right or left. You can make the other one also activated, which will definitely help you in work or in your personal life. So you can enjoy much better and be more creative. And being more creative does not mean that you have to be good in music, you have to be good in art. Being creative means how well you can do in your personal and professional life, whatever profession it is. Whether you are a doctor, you are an engineer, you're a lawyer, you need to think, right? So you need to come with a lot of good ideas. You need to be very adaptive. And if you are good painter and music and or anything else, anything other creative, that will definitely help you to come up with some very good point of views, very good thought process. Yesterday we saw that our thought process should be how it should be, right? When we were talking about goals and how we should did okay. How many of us are here? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, make group of 3 or 4 people. First 4 and 4. Okay? Yeah. And then I'll give you 5 minutes. Discuss among yourself and list 10 items. Say you are sailing in a cruise and your cruise is going to sink. आपकी cruise है वो डूबने है. आपके पास 10 मिनट है. In that 10 minutes, you need to pick up the essential, because it's lucky you that it is very close to one of the island. So you have to go to the island with taking only 10 essential things, because you have only 10 minutes to get out of the cruise. So what are those 10 things that you will take with you? So think and then make a list. They can also do that. If you are in a classroom or something, then you can make group and write. If you are watching individual, still you can continue doing that. You can make a list. What are the things that you will take? Okay, your time starts now.
The online participant also think, individually, and whatever the madam asked the question, you have to answer. Okay, raise your hand and then you answer.
Yeah. Done? Good. Let everyone finish and then. Can go, right? Done, everyone? 1 minute is remaining, so you still have time. And people who are online, please do this activity because this will definitely help you to analyze how your thought process really work. Everybody is done? Yes? All the groups? Everybody is done? All right. So people who have joined online, they can hear to all the participants. They will be sharing their thought, and you can also see how many things are in common with the participants here who are offline and with me. And then we will discuss about it. All right? Yes. So who's coming first? I mean, which group? Okay. All right. Okay. Before you say other groups, okay? Now listen to their list and then you tell us whether those things are really relevant or not. That makes sense to take it or not. If so, we will give points, 10 points to each, okay? And -5 if any group discard your, okay, whether they are your professor or anyone, you can, okay. So don't think that we have to say yes, we are here to learn something. So uh, do it with all right, everybody understood? So 10 marks for every item that everybody agrees. If other groups don't agree, then it is -5. All right, okay, yes.
So 10 things are, the following 10 things are, first is the water life jacket, then second is the small boat, fourth is the warm jacket, fifth is the drinking water, sixth is the oxygen cylinder, seventh is the compass for the direction, eight is the torch, nine is the rope, and 10 is the red color cotton. Thank you.
Red color.
Red color cotton.
Okay, why oxygen cylinder?
Sinking is there, so for that required oxygen cylinder.
But I said that how many of you agree that oxygen cylinders are needed, essential to survive on the island because you are going to the island?
Water for the underwater.
But if it is sink, why are you going underwater? Okay, but okay, lifeboat is there. You have taken that swimming jacket, so you're not going to go underwater. And when it is sinking, will you really take such a heavy thing with you? Because oxygen cylinders are very heavy. Rest, how many of you agree that rest is fine? What about the red flag? Is it really important to take? It's not essential. So, but you really feel it is essential. Something else can be taken because red flag you can make with anything. Right? So 2 items non-essential. Sir, 2 items non-essential. So -5, -5. So,
Okay, ma'am.
so you get 90, right? 90 points. Okay. Which group is coming next? Okay, speak up.
Life jacket,
Uh-huh.
water, food and water, knife, matchstick, clothes, first aid, mobile or cash, ropes, range भेटली तर Odomos, ropes and compass.
Okay. So how many of you think that there are non-essential things are there? Okay. Any item that you feel it is non-essential?
Mobiles anyway stay with us. Why will we throw our phones? It will anyway stay with us. And what if we get range? We can call someone. If there's habituation nearby the island, we can help our, like, we cannot anyway throw our phones. It will be anyway with us.
Okay. See, I'll come to you for cash and mobile. Okay. That I feel it is essential. Okay. But do you really have to pick that up? Because if you're on cruise, mobile is going to be with you. I don't think you're going to be roaming around the cruise without mobile. Correct? That is going to be with you. Even cash is going to be with you. So these 2 things which are already with you, you don't have to go and pick it up. Correct? So again, it is 90 for you. All right, next group. Next group, please. Yes.
Jacket,
Life jacket, okay.
food,
Food,
first aid,
first aid.
Compass.
Please listen, you have to object on their list if you don't find it essential. So listen. Yes.
life jacket, food, first aid, compass, rope, clothes, water, torch, and walkie-talkie.
What you said before walkie-talkie?
Torch,
Torch. And before that?
water,
Water. Okay, anything?
walkie-talkie in case the frequency is we can like contact for help or something.
Okay, I will say walkie-talkie is not really essential. And at the same time, compass.
But for directions,
You have your mobile, right? And every mobile has a compass.
but mobile,
Yes or no?
we wrote that in case we don't have mobile and like we are sinking in water.
So in which era are you?
No, ma'am, we told that if we are sinking in water and we are not like, the situation was like if the boat is sinking and we need to reach the island.
Your boat is sinking very close to an island, and you have 10 minutes to gather some stuff so that you can reach to that island before the boat sinks.
Not the thing that your mobile will like reach the island.
How many of you feel that these 2 things are really, really important? Compass and walkie-talkie. How many of you feel yes, it is important, essential. Yes? Any group, any objection? No, no, not your group. Other group. Any objections? Walkie-talkie is not essential. Okay. And is not essential. Okay. All right. So again for you, 2 minus points. And yes, next group.
सेफ्टी जैकेट, स्विमिंग जैकेट रहते हैं वो, टॉर्च, विसल, स्मॉल बोट, रोप, फ्लैग, मेडिकल किट.
Talida?
लगभग सेम.
Say, what are the other things you have written? Oh. So why flag? So flag उनको हमने मना किया, उनका माइनस किया. Okay.
फॉर इंडिकेटर दूसरे
Point you will recognize that somebody is there.
Okay, we'll come to it. So how many of you say whistle is essential? Nobody. So 2 minus point, flag and whistle. Okay, next group. 2 groups are remaining, I guess. Come on, quick. We have to move on.
Ma'am, first thing will be life jacket.
Hmm.
Second one is flare gun. Third one is satellite phone. Or fourth one is medicine or emergency lifeboat. And fifth thing will be compass. And another one is food, drinking water. That's it.
Okay. So again, compass doesn't really come into picture and satellite phone is also not. I'll come to that why it is not. So 2 minus points for you. Rest seems good. Flare gun is one good thing that you have mentioned. So now one group is remaining. Your group, last group. Come on.
Flotation jacket. First aid box. Fruits, dry fruits.
Okay, they want to have a good life out there. Okay,
Then rope. warm-
sorry, what was that?
Rope.
Rope. Okay.
Warm jacket.
Hmm.
Navigation system. Get direction.
Okay, that's okay. All right. And 10 झाले?
आणि सेम होतं ना त्यामुळं.
काय, you can say it's your list, na? So what is the common thing?
Flag, ma'am. Flag.
Flag. Okay, so any which is flag and navigation system and dry fruits. Sticky, you can have dry fruits, no problem. Okay, all right. So now, so majority of you have got 90 except this group because they had written very few and again minus 10. So anyway, now tell me how you reached to the conclusion of taking these things with you. Man versus Wild, you've been watching. Okay. Anybody? Why you decided to take only these things? Okay. But why? I mean, I felt that these are the things. I gave you that cruise is very close to the island and is sinking, and you have 10 minutes, and 10 minutes is very good time. to collect things. Now, what are the various assumptions you can make on this? Yes? Island, I never said it is a deserted island. I said it's an island, right? So, and nobody asked me any question, any of these questions, what I'm saying. Nobody asked me, what is the time of the day? Is it night? It is day? What is it? So if it is daytime, it is good. You can explore the island. Nobody asked me whether it is a deserted island or it is a happening island. Maybe there would be very good resorts and something. I said, see, why these questions are important? When I asked you, when I told you that it is sinking near the island, maybe your cruise was going to that island because that's a happening island and you were supposed to be visiting that island. Nobody took that thing in consideration. Right? Because why it is so close to island? Because that may be the destination. And when it is sinking close to the island, help will be there. Nobody considered that. Correct. And when it is sinking near the island, captain comes to know, right, well before that what is going to happen to his ship. So he already would have informed that this is what is happening to the ship. So why you need satellite phone and everything and something? Because in today's world, the help will come in no time. Then you don't need matchbox. Matchbox is okay, fine, if it is a deserted island. Otherwise, flags and navigation system not really required because you have your cruise staff. Why you forgot about them? And the moment cruise or any boat is sinking, you have lifeboats so that you can immediately reach to the safer place. So and I said it's very close to the island. So probably the water is not so deep. Correct? And if water is not deep, then so many things you don't really need. And if it is sinking, there are so many things that will flow back to the island. आपका सारा सामान बह के वहां आइलैंड पे आ जाएगा. Correct? And if there are good swimmers, cruise staff will be good swimmers. They can go and get these things which are sinking. So many things that you have to start thinking when you make these kind of decisions. And that's why it's you thought with most of you thought with the left brain, logic laga ki ye lena padega. With right brain, more ideas. What can happen? She didn't tell us this. Let us ask her this. Nobody asked me any questions. And nobody made any assumptions. That's the reason why everybody had this almost the same kind of list. And that is where your critical thinking comes. That you have to break the frame of mind and think very differently. And these are the points that we are going to be discussing. That when you're taking decisions, when you're making some important work or something, then how you should go about doing certain things. And that is the pattern of critical thinking. Right? Now, if I give you time, then the list will be completely different, right? Then probably you will be even getting hold of your beauty kit and everything now. Right? You will say, I don't care. It is the cruise's fault. So let us just reach the island. Our hotel television which is nearby. Cruise will take care of the other things. We will get everything on the island. Correct? So this is how you need to start thinking why, what is happening, so what is possible, what are the various possibilities. And that's how we go on to the learning critical thinking. So this is what the idea of today's session is, to identify the need of critical thinking. Why do we need to see? That's the reason I started with this example. Now you can relate to that, why we need critical thinking. Had you thought in a different way, your list would have been very different. Your answers would have been very, very different. And defining critical thinking and its element, what are the various things involved in this? Orient on red model, that will give you some idea on how critical thinking needs to be. If you are not that way, then what kind of pattern we should follow, how we should list the ways of developing critical thinking skill. It can be easily developed. It is not, you don't really need to be that, oh my God, I don't have that skill, then what do we do? Build an individual action plan for developing critical thinking skill. Small things you can start doing, and you can practice. And once you practice, you can easily do it. Like, it's like maths. The more you practice, the more you get better into it. So when you see this picture here, elephant and the ant, yesterday we spoke about conscious and subconscious mind. So elephant is your subconscious mind and ant is your conscious mind. And sometimes it will give you illusion because you are fixated to certain things. And that's the reason why we came up with that kind of list. Rope, this, why you need rope. So you need to ask this question. So that's the reason why it was a group activity. So somebody should have asked, why are we writing this? Okay, and that is also, we are going to see how it is. And the subconscious mind is very big. So you need to start activating it. You need to start utilizing your subconscious mind. It is full of so much of information. So how do we do that? This is what we are going to do today. Questions that you ask. That now you have seen how you've been thinking. So what, now my question is, what you have learned about thinking? Yesterday, this is how we started. What are your thoughts and what are your emotions? So now, when we have done this exercise, now tell me what you feel or what are your thoughts and what you have learned about how you should think. Anyone? And my second question, as you can see on the screen, is, did you ever study your thinking? What you're thinking and why you're thinking in that way? That very, very important thing. Why you feel, you always think in a very, systematic pattern or one pattern only. Why that happens? And has anybody ever thought that this thinking pattern, I can change it? Or what should I do to change it? And it can be changed. You change your, yesterday I gave you that quote, right? What you think, you become. So how is your thinking? And why are you thinking that way? What do you really know about how to analyze, evaluate, reconstruct your thinking? And that's the reason why these small activity will start to let you understand that when you are in any kind of profession, it is not related to only one kind of profession. Any kind of profession or any position you are in, any kind of work that you do, if you know how you're thinking and why you're thinking that way, then you can change it and you can make it more better, right? just like the doctor, you all are from the kind of same medical field. So if you're analyzing any patient, if somebody, when your patients are very different, but when they come, you all try to analyze everything, right? If the dog owner says he's got hurt, his leg got hurt or he's vomiting or something, you will give an injection, that's it. Are you going to do that? No. You will try to analyze everything, why that is happening, what is the root cause. And then you will give that. So exactly the same way, when we are taking decisions, when we are making any research or anything which we are doing. So in that, if you start doing this kind of thought process, it will always give you better result. And the more you analyze properly, the more you go to the root cause, the result is going to be better or not. And that's how we have to. So sometimes we have to deconstruct. Sometimes you may be getting some critical, disease or something that you are not knowing. Then you take second opinion also. Then you try to break the, what is really happening, and then you try to understand. Even in research, if you're doing something. So this, when you're doing in the profession, then how you can apply these kind of questioning. And we will see the questioning is one very important skill. How many of you have seen that movie Ladla? किसी ने देखी? बहुत पुरानी पिक्चर है, अनिल कपूर की. हाँ, उसमें परेश रावल का रोल है. He has this question mark, right? Why? Because he keeps asking the question, right? After everything, he will keep asking one question. Then if somebody answers, then there is another question. Just like the kids. Kids have so many questions, right? And mold them into क्यों पूछ रहा, चुपचाप बैठ जाओ, right? And we suppress that curiosity. So somewhere maybe your curiosity you have suppressed, or your environment or something else has suppressed that curiosity. So let that curiosity come up. The more curious you are, the more questions. But of course, the questions has to be, something which are relevant. But sometimes stupid questions are also important. Okay, you never know what will the outcome of that. So don't hesitate to ask question. Be childlike. Like a child is never afraid of asking any question, however silly it is. Because you never know what, sometimes you give very silly example, you feel, oh, if I ask, what will the other class say? Or what will other people say? But it is your work, it is your doubt. So those doubts needs to be clear. Otherwise, it will keep lingering on your mind. Okay, so where does your thinking come from? We all come from various, very different environment. What family background he has and what family background she has, it's very different. The school she has gone to, the school he has gone to is very different. The teaching methodology would be very different. Somebody must be from a small town, somebody must be from a very big city and very, affluent family or whatever. So everybody comes from very different backgrounds. So that's how their thought process is set. What they have seen, what they have heard, what they have read, what they have been taught. So everything makes up your state of mind. That makes the thought process. And that's how you start to get answer. And some people you maybe if some of your friend or somebody in your college or some, they would be giving some very um, interesting answers. And you say, यार ये कैसे कितना अच्छा सोचता है, इसके answers कितने अच्छे होते हैं. But you need to understand maybe he's watching certain kind of movies or something, that is making him more creative, making him, he's very well read, or he's, sometimes what we do is, say for example, today you are doing research. Of course, you have to read about your subject and you have to get involved in what you're doing. But at the same time, you have to be open to other things also. So what we do, we, keep ourselves only in one direction. We read, we see, we talk about the same thing, what we are doing. So you should be open to learn something different, read some different books. And we say, no, I'm from medicine. Why should I, read so much about sports or films? Film I'll just watch just for the entertainment. Or why should I read about politics? But that will give you some ideas what is happening. So it will give you the information. That's what I said. Elephant, that's a subconscious mind. So what information are you feeding it? So the kind of moment, you will not know, you will read, you can read hundreds of books on various subjects. Don't confine yourself to only the topic or the subject that you're related to. And then you'll be surprised the kind of different kind of books you're reading, and go to other places also. Like, just don't confine ki no, I like only particular kind of restaurant, particular kind of food, particular kind of color. Fixated mind mat rakhiye. So if you are flexible, adaptive, the information that you're feeding to your brain, your subconscious mind, that will be automatic acquired. And that's how and that's the reason why you have to understand from where your thinking is coming from. So what you have to do, how much of it is good quality, or how much it is of just pure overthinking and very chaotic thinking, okay, and thinking that you yourself doubt. So what kind of thinking? So it is a good quality thinking that you have in your mind, or you have poor quality of thinking in your mind. So as we started yesterday, that it starts from you. So it starts from you. Start analyzing how your thoughts are getting generated, the quality of your thoughts, and how much of your thinking is vague, muddled, inconsistent, illogical, or superficial. Superficial means, then that means you don't have good knowledge about that particular subject or idea or, work or anything. And that's why you will not have, and that's why you will start doubting. And then it will change the entire personality of yours. The moment you get doubt on the process, on knowledge, your self-confidence will go down. Correct? So all these things are very related, and it really will give you. So you have to start asking these kind of questions to yourself and understand, and then realize how I can change it. Okay? So this is how the thinking pattern goes. The first order thinking is this spontaneous, non-reflective. What we did today, the exercise, was this. This was first order thinking. Not so much of reflective. Whatever came to your mind, you guys just started writing it down, right? And second order, the level is raised. Analyzing that what have been asked, what information has been provided. Do you need any additional information? You would have immediately started asking me questions. And that's the second order. The moment you start asking question, you are thinking, you are making assumption, you are analyzing. So right now, the activity that you did was the first order. It's just non-reflective. It contains prejudices. Whatever you knew, like aisa hona chahiye. That's the reason why almost everybody has the same kind of list. Nobody discussed with any other group, right? But 90% of the things were same. So, and there's nothing wrong. This is the awareness session that we are doing. So the more you get aware, so don't feel, ki, oh, we made such a mistake. No, everybody does. And trust me, everybody does. Even people who are working on very senior positions, they also make a lot of mistakes when we do these kind of exercise. Most of them think on first order thinking. So there is nothing wrong. Why we are here? We have to learn, right? So we have to, from first order, we should start moving to the second order of thinking, where we can understand, where we can analyze, when we can reflect on the information given, and then come up with a solution on that. Then it will be very different. Had you asked me those questions that I spoke about later, don't you think the list would have been very different? The items would have been very different in the list. And that is the beauty of critical thinking. Okay, so let's moving on. So this critical thinking is the assesses itself. You have to assess yourself. It's nothing to do with anybody else. How you channelize your thought process. It has to be reflective, reasoning about beliefs and action. Why beliefs? Because whatever you have learned till date, whatever you have observed till date, whatever you have read till date, you have made a frame of mind. And you're operating from that frame of mind. So it is the way of deciding whether a claim is always true. Whatever you are thinking, is it really true, or it can be something better? So it will help you to ask you, consider whether the piece of knowledge could be rationally justified with clarity, or the second sense derived from the Greek word is the definition or is the meaning that has been given. So this is what you need to start understanding. We have seen first order and second order, and that's very important. From where are you operating and how? And from today, start thinking on this direction. Whenever you're making decision, whenever you're doing something, even in your work, in your research, in learning something, in understanding something, immediately think, am I operating from first order or second order? If it is first order, stop, think a bit, and move to the second order. Start reflecting on the knowledge, start reflecting on the information that is given to you, and your results will be very, very different. So this is the first thing is, what is the first thing? Observation. And second, interpretation. Okay, and when we are talking about interpretation, it's the adaptation of work, the methodology, or the style. So what kind of style do you have of thinking? How you interpret things, or you just go on the face value and do the decisions, make the decision, take the action. How do you do? What is your style? Right? And then we come to analysis. Okay, this is about the data. Whatever data you have, whatever information you have, like in the exercise, what we did, small activity that we did. So what kind of data you have and how you are analyzing it, and what inference are you drawing out of it? Are you becoming very judgmental? So when we say judgmental, if you see anybody wearing dhoti and chappal and kurta, you will feel ये तो गाँव वाला है, इसको क्या आता होगा इतना. We start judging people by their personality, by their outer look, by their education qualification. And then say, oh my God, he's so educated, but the way he talks and the way he treats people is so different or so bad. Then your thought changes. But we start, that's how we have trained, that's how we have learned, that's how we have seen, majority of us have seen. If we are staying in a colony, so we start naming people. राइट बचपन में भी किया है ना, अरे ये तो बहुत गुस्से वाले अंकल है, अरे ये तो आंटी ऐसी है, अरे ये तो वैसी. Even to your friends in the college we have tagged, right? Today tagging is a different meaning altogether, but we have done that. Even now we would be doing that. So we start judging people, at the same time we start judging situations and start judging problems also. And that's the reason we start getting stuck in our own thought process. घूम फिर के फिर वही जवाब आते हैं, घूम फिर के हम वहीं पहुंच जाते हैं, and we don't get solution. And then we get frustrated, and then we get stressed that I'm not getting anything. I've been working on this research subject for so many days, I'm not getting any answers. If that is the case, relax yourself, listen to some music, just go out of the subject. Don't see it for some time. Relax, think different, freshen up your mind. Even your mind needs some relaxation. And then wherever you have got stuck, see that situation or see that topic or see that question with a different point of view. And then start doing it. And you will get the answer. Okay, so this is, and then we go to the evaluation and explanation and meta. We will talk all this in little detail. That's why I'm not explaining right now, or we'll see it in, so self-regulation, as you see, core thinking skill is, self-regulation is very, very important. How you regulate yourself. See, whatever we have learned, it's good. But now you have the choice what to learn, how to learn. Okay, in the family, when you were small, whatever you have learned, whatever you have observed was not 100% in your control. So you have learned from that. But now, as you have grown up, you have the choice what to read, what kind of company I have to keep, with what kind of people I need to go around, what kind of friends I need to make, what kind of study I need to do. All these choices it's you who has to make. So that kind of self-regulation is very, very important. Now, why we need critical thinking? See, this is the trap I was talking about, that everybody thinks, but much of our thinking, as in, it is not, it is just people. You're just taking one side, or you're just thinking from one point of view only, and you feel I'm right. Most of the time in the argument, this would have happened. See, and why this critical thinking is also important. Some of you may be going overseas for studies or research or something, or maybe in many of the job, you have to go for group discussions and everything. So group discussion is very, very important. What kind of answers are coming? And in group discussion, many people feel the more you talk, the better. No, the more quality thoughts you produce is better. So how you are doing this? So when you're going out, or when you're going overseas for your research or for maybe for further studies or anything, then when you meet countries, then how you will, what kind of, how you will be gelling with themselves, how you will be studying with them, how your thought process and their at least in terms of your own area, should come to one thing. You may be having one knowledge, but always, especially Indians, I have noticed, I may be wrong, but this is general, as I said, the biased, right? So again, my thought process right now, I can say it is little biased. That when generally Indian student go, they feel, oh, they must be very smart. People who are from university, and you always get hesitant to put forth your thoughts and go and take initiative to talk to them, to meet them, to, you just then keep yourself with your own studies and that's it. Some are very smart, some people, that the yes. But here we spoke about that having the really do and knowledge you, why you have gone there, because you deserve, you have got selected or you have been called to that university. Okay, so these kind of biases we have in mind and we go with that, so we don't open up and we feel that really is it necessary or something, then we just confine ourselves again in one box. That should not happen. And that's the reason left brain, right brain combination is very, very important. And you should be open to learn anything, not just confining only to your subject. That is important. So 75% focus on that. 25% you can just, relax, learn something else. And it is also the quality that depends on your thought. We said good thoughts or bad thought. We have already spoken about it. So when we define it, critical thinking, what we say, it's an art of analyzing and evaluating, thinking with a view of improving it. And that's the beauty of critical thinking. Today, whatever activity we did, then I gave you some more information. And had I asked you to make new list, the new list would have been very different. Then after that, if I would have provided you with more information, again the list would have been different. So it is not that once you are have come to one conclusion, it is the conclusion. There is always a scope of improvement, and that is what the critical thinking is all about. It keeps evolving. The more you read, the more you can ask yourself, you were 14 years old and today, is it different or not? Your behavior, your attitude has changed or not? The way you were when you were 16-year-old, a teenager, how was your attitude? How was your behavior? And now, how is it? Has it changed? Why it has changed? Why you are not the same person? Okay, so then why your thinking is same? Why you're not doing anything to change your thinking, your thought process? Okay, so this is what we are going to work. That critical thinking, it's an active process. It's not like once we have learned something, then we are done. No, it is active and it keeps evolving. And every organization, and that's the reason when you go for interview, you have analytical test, you have group discussion, and you have some other test also, and they see whether you can think differently, because that is what is required in today's scenario, the way the technology is changing, the way the work is changing, right? It is not the same how we used to work. Today, some of you are here, some of them are sitting there, and we all are learning. Right? Few years back, nobody had thought about it. And there are so many things that are coming up. So it's going to change. So organization need that way, that with the fast moving, with the fast paced changing world, can my employees, can my staff, can my people cope up with that or not? That is important. So can we grow, or we will need to keep pushing our stuff? So our energy, where we are going to spend our energy. And that's the reason in many of the organizations, even if you're very, very knowledgeable, sometimes selection doesn't get patient's thought process. That's why they have this group discussions, and even in the interview, they ask some very, very different questions, maybe not related to subject. I have met many candidates related to कुछ नहीं पूछा, पता नहीं कि क्या-क्या पूछ रहे थे. Maybe a question related to my subject, I would have, got selected. So this is very important. See, you have been called because you are qualified for that post. So one criteria is already met. Now the second criteria is whether you are suitable for that organization or not. Had you not been qualified, you have not been called for the interview. So this is what people do think that way. And they keep repeating the same mistake. And that's why one after another, they keep getting rejections in the interview. And they say, "Pata nahi kya, itna padh ke bhi I'm not getting any job." But have you thought the other way? Why? Why are they asking these kind of questions which is not related to my subject? Why other questions are so important? That we need to change the way we thinking. And that's what happens when we do counseling of candidates, or when we go to colleges and talk about career counseling or interview process and all that. These are why these things are so important. Why you need to change the way you think. Nobody is or all that. But do you have other things which can add value to the organization? That is what we have to understand. And these are the things that you have to gather the information, recognize the assumption. Like I gave you the information, but you did not made any kind of assumption. That's where things went wrong. And being clear in and accurate in describing the problem. So what is the problem here? You have to understand that. I'll be sharing this presentation and yesterday's presentation. So if you want to still take the photograph, it's fine, no problem. Interpreting the whatever information that you've got, what are the implications it can have? And then drawing the conclusion, and then making the judgments which are suitable, accurate, and suitable. So here it is all about your attitude. What kind of attitude you have? It's positive, it's negative, it's a growth. The thinking is growth mind thinking, or what is it? What kind of body of knowledge that you have, and the skill. And it is not just the activities or exercise, the kind of competency that you create, that you develop for yourself. Okay. Okay, this is just common information. Now, these are the 6 steps for critical thinking. First is, what is the first one? Yes? जोर से बोलो. Interpreting. Second, then these are the 6 steps. So whenever you are having any issue or anything that you're discussing together, do follow these process. And we'll see one by one. Okay, before we go, now this is again a small activity. Again, you can make groups. You want to change the group partners, you can change it. So this is the scene that I'm giving you, that you are a member of a space crew, originally scheduled to rendezvous. Rendezvous means meeting. Meeting with another ship, that is spaceship, on the lighted surface of where there is a light on the moon. But you end up landing on the other side. So now the question is how you will contact with the other ship. How will you reach to them? How? Yes? Little different, na? Now I'm giving you again 5 minutes. Think and come up with the solution. Now you know how to go about it. So apply it and do it. You got the scenario clear? Yes? Scenario नहीं समझ में आया है तो and all the students who have joined in, all the staff who have joined in online, please do it if you are sitting in the classroom in a group. Otherwise, individually, please do that. And now you have the frame how to work. So everyone come up with some solution. No, other side is dark. So this is light side. They were supposed to come, but they have landed on the other side. That is the dark side of the moon. So generally how they have the phone, or they have the yes, satellite. So that's how they have been contacting. Come up with that, make assumptions. Just like yesterday when I came, okay, when I came to this institute, I came to the other gate, where the hospital gate, I came to that gate, okay, and then I came inside. But today, as I knew, I came to this gate. It's the same thing, right? I landed the other side. Today I landed the right side. So why? Because my cab took the different route, or I put the address which in the Uber's data is that. Okay, so today I put that that school is there, right? So I put that and I came here. So now I gave you good information. Now do some assumptions and see how you can connect with the other ship and how you can meet with the people from the other spaceship. They had. Let's assume that it had been done by the other spaceships before also. Sorry? Did the same time? Okay, let's assume yes, one landed on the light side, one landed on the dark side. Now you make this, start thinking and say, okay, this is what is done. This is how must have happened. These are the assumptions, and based on assumptions, this is how they can connect with each other, and then they can come and meet each other. That's what I'm saying. Make your assumption. Start writing the assumption in and discuss in your group. Make the assumption based on the assumptions. Start writing the plan. If any of the person online has any question, even they can ask me the questions. So that can be in your plan. So when you tell me, you can say ki, because when they were en route, they have been contacting using this procedure or this tool. So by that they have connected again, and they realize that this. So that's the reason why they formed this, and whatever solution you are coming up with. See, as I gave my example yesterday, so I did not know how to come. I called Smita, okay, because I was coordinating with her. I asked her how to come because I could not get my cab inside. They don't allow to cab, right? So I had to get down at the door. So then I connected with Smita. Then Smita came out. Now, see, kind of the same situation, but this is on the space. So now, yes. Coordinates can't be wrong. Okay, I reached my destination yesterday. So if we see, coordinates were different, that gate and this gate. So they have reached on the moon. That's the destination. But somehow their coordinates got wrong. Okay, like
Is it
I
necessary?
put,
Is it necessary to meet only on the moon?
it's a so if one goes to moon and one goes to Mars, then it is definitely not. So they are, if you, so that's the reason I said moon, because we all love moon, right? Okay, lot of other assumptions you can make while you are taking decisions. So think about it and then tell me. That's why I said they must have put something or something would have come. That's the assumptions that you have to make. That because when they were going in the same direction, the other ship, the coordinates that they put, instead of putting maybe 26, it became 29 or something. So that can happen. Like I put the name of the hospital and landed on the other gate. Today I put the other coordinate and I landed on this gate. There was nothing wrong in it. But then I landed on different coordinates both the days. Right? So these kind of assumptions you have to make. So when we are talking about this, now you are thinking, that's very good. You are asking me question, wonderful. But at the same time, you have to understand how the space works. Right? What kind of things and what kind of issues. So okay, how they have landed, that's out of the question actually in this discussion, because the scenario is given that they have landed on different days. Now you have to come up with a solution so that both the spaceship people should be able to meet up with each other. So what will you do? Okay, how will you come up with a solution? So there you should know that what kind of instruments, what kind of things generally they carry in the spaceship. So how they can communicate, how they can exchange the information, how they can let the other spaceship people know where they are. Okay. And then how they can meet at one point. Like yesterday, me and Smita met in between. I was coming from there, she came from here, we met at one point, and then we obviously came here. So how you could have done something so both the ship can meet at one place, and then whatever work or whatever project they have to do, they can do it.
And there is a specific landmark like moon station. So
Mhm.
at that space, and there is a maybe coordinator. So that coordinator they can meet the both the astronaut can try.
Good, very good. Anything else? See, now you people are thinking in different directions. Okay. Now on the moon, both of them are new. So how can they give any landmark there? And moon is unexplored place for them. Okay, so you are saying the space people, they will come and meet each other, right? Who are in the spaceship, not the ships will come. Huh.
Where like what is the distance between two ships? If it's too far, then ships needs to be moved, or if it's less, then people can just share their coordinates with each other and meet at one point, or one might come to another.
Okay, anything else? Any other group, any other assumptions that you have made? Any other group? That's the reason why I gave you something which you will not expect. You will not, So see, now here when you're considering this, now we are talking about spaceships. And they have limited resources. The fuel, the other things, everything they have very limited. So considering that, what needs to be done? What can be done? So what assumption needs to be made? Like you did speak about it, but you did not took that part in consideration in designing the plan. You did mention that it can be far, then the ship can come. If it is far, the ship will need more fuel and it needs to go back to the earth as well. Correct. If it is near, then probably ship can come. If it is far, the ship cannot come. So then how we communicate? Right? So these are very, very small things. I don't want you to give this solution, but my intention to give you this kind of case was to what kind of things are you taking in consideration while you are thinking? And when you're talking about this, you need to consider all the, like I mentioned about spaceship, they are very, very limited on resources.
Now, if they have landed on different positions and if they are contacting through satellites, then if it's not possible to meet, they can directly contact to satellite of this over there.
Okay, good. So generally, what is the agenda of going to the moon? Research, explore, find out what is available, not available. Now we can see research. And now your exploration area is become broader. So the information that you go back with will be more. And does all the time it is like that one part is always dark and one part is always lighted on the moon? No, because there is also sun. So right now, maybe it is one part is lighted and one part is dark. It will become the other way. Right. So there can't be any, right or wrong answer right now for this. My intention was to give you something to think very different and see what are the different possibilities, how it works, so what can be done, what are the things, thinking different. So it's a good, maybe we can take it as an opportunity to explore much better. So you could have assumed that when both ships were supposed to meet at one point, their agenda could have been, I did not give you more information. You can design your own agenda. That this was the agenda to meet up. But now, as they have landed on two different sides, so now the agenda can be done on this way. And then they can meet up maybe some space station or they can go down with it. So this you could have done by yourself. And that is what I mean, to make assumptions and come up with the solution. And considering so many things. And I gave you free hand to do anything. Some of you were thinking differently. That is wonderful. That is the beginning now. So see now, when you got some pattern of critical thinking, what we discussed, did you feel some change in the way you were thinking before and now? That was the intention of this activity, not to get some solution out of it. Right? And this is what we are supposed to do. We have to start considering, we have to start questioning, we have to start looking at from all the different aspects. It's very cool. You can, there is everybody is doing this. And मन में बोल रहा है कि मैम तो बैठी है ब्लेजर पहन के. So see, this is, you should ask, ma'am, can we just, work on the, yes, now it is comfortable to her? Yeah, good. Ask for it. No, it's nothing wrong that you're asking for. So don't hesitate. All right. So you got, you understood, you felt the difference in thinking process now? Yes or no? How many of you felt that you were thinking differently now? Yes, good. All right, so let's move on. So the first step is interpretation. This is just the example. I have not taken the example exactly from your industry, from different industries. So this is about at store, the amount of sales was so much in percentage, so amount of sales, what should be in, we need to give you an answer, like come up with the answer. So these are the just the examples that I'm giving you. I'm not asking you to solve it. Like in the in school, we used to have these kind of questions in mathematics. Then we used to consider, let this value be X and this be Y. What are these? These are assumptions. Correct? And then we used to come to the conclusion, we used to derive the answer, putting the values in the formula. So we have learned this, we know this, but then we say, oh, I'm going to medical, maths to mere kisi kaam ka nahi hai. But see, this is the way we have solved those mathematical problems. The formula or the way we have been thinking to solve, that can be utilized somewhere in our life also, in the problems that we are facing. Not exactly the Pythagoras formula, but what we have learned and how we can utilize that knowledge, that is what is important. So this was one. So how we are interpreting. So when you have this data, we have done data interpretation in mathematics. Even in research, you would be doing data interpretation, right? So this is the interpretation of data. Exactly the same way you have to do data interpretation when you're, making some decision, even when you're thinking of something. So when you're thinking, you have to decide on certain things, then consider that this is the data, this is the information I have. So from this information, from where I have got this information, is there anything more available to this or not? If it is available, how I can find that data? How can I find that information? And then gathering that information, then your thought process will change. Ask questions. that is this the right or there is something else, or how I can make it better. Okay, so that is what is first step, is that interpretation with the data that you have. Start doing that. Okay. Next come analyzing. This is again the example that I have taken from different, like there are some students who are going to UN and UN conference, and they're talking about some racial issues discussion, and how they, so now if you're going to UN with this kind of problem, then what kind of discussion will you have with UN to put forth your problem, to put forth your point? Any thoughts on this? What kind of questions or what kind of thought will you put forth if this is the issue you have to address at United Nations? That, say for example, this entire group is going to UN talking about the racial issues. So what are the things that you will put forth? See, what we discuss among ourselves is very different. But when you're going to the entity like or the place like United Nations conference, then you have to be very precise. Your thoughts have to be very impactful, so that your message is heard, your message is taken notice of. So if, say for example, there is a conference of related to your field, and there is something happening, maybe because for the animal welfare, or there's some problem that now animals are not really taken care of so much because of urban development and all. So the number of animals, say wild animal, or you can pick up maybe tigers or lions. There was so much of movement to save tigers, right? And everybody came forward to work on it, and they started helping, and they started breeding tigers and making them. There are so many such animals who are about to extinct. So if you have to talk about it, if you have to put forth your problem about the animals getting extinct and they're not really taken care of, so what is to be done? If this is the point, you have to make at, maybe not at UN, but maybe at the conference of veterinary practitioners or researchers or something. How will you put forth that point? Specifically only for animals who are about to extinct. So these are certain things that you start to think about. And these are the issues, these are the things that are really important. Okay, so this is the example that I just shared. So like as a group, student at the conference will show keener interest in broad social problem. This is a social problem, right? So in this social problem, what they have faced, okay, their early teens, the majorities of the students previously discussed the conference topic in their school. You will be prepared, right? You will not just go only, okay, fine, we'll make the group and go. You will discuss first in the group. Like I gave you the case, you discuss, and then you come with the answer. So that is what, this is when you're analyzing, all this needs to be done. The discussion needs to be done. And then what are the major things? So when I said that if you're going for a conference and addressing to look after about extinct animals, animals who are about to extinct. So in that, so what kind of discussion you will have, what kind of thought process, what kind of points will you put up in front of the committee? So all these things, like how you will analyze the entire thing. So this is the example I took for to explain this. Evaluating is the recognizing what's credible and identifying the implication. So say for example, yesterday we took the example of going to vacation. So now if you'll say ki, okay, fine, I have a good budget, but I have only 3 days holiday. So if I travel by train, it will take time. So my 2 days will go in train journey and then I'll get only 1 day. So let me go by plane because budget is not a problem. So I will reach in few hours and I'll get enough time to explore the city. Right? So you need to see the options, what is suitable, what you have to recognize, what is credible, what we can imply. And by implying, are we getting the better result or not? So that is what is you are evaluating that. Okay. Say if you're going to doctor and somebody, I mean, maybe they will say you have this this problem, and they'll say I don't feel so. Then you will start to have second opinion. You will start to evaluate whether I should go for this surgery or not, and what else. So you start evaluating the options available. What is the best option? What is best fit? What can imply best to the situation, to the problem that I have in hand, right? So this is what evaluating is. This is what I just spoke about, that going by plane. And then you come with the inference. Like in science, you would have done a lot of practicals. And that is what we do. We analyze the data, and then we evaluate, we do the practical, we do the procedure, and then we infer that this is what it means. Exactly the same way we have to do. Everything is very related, everything we have done. But what happens when we get to the routine, right? After some time in our life, we are fixated to one routine. And that's the reason we just keep following. Then whatever we have learned, it is already there in your subconscious mind, the elephant. But just like an ant, we keep carrying the lot of burden to our conscious mind. So whenever you get stuck, just close your eyes for a few seconds. Think, for this solution, for this problem, do I have those resources? Do I have the information? Have I ever faced this kind of thing before? Or whatever I have learned, can I apply something to this? And you will get the answer. So question the evidence and hypothesis alternative. We make the hypothesis. Now, even in research, we do that. Right? Yes. So all these things. So when we are doing research, when we are even in mathematics, when we have done all this. We question that, and that's very important. That's why I said right from the beginning, I'm saying like questioning. Your questioning skill has to be very, very good. There are various kind of questions. So interrogative questions and so many other things. So what kind of questioning skill you should use for yourself, your work, whatever you're doing. And once you know that, and once you start questioning that, you will have more and more better ideas, thought process to work on that. Right? Yes? Okay, so this is what inferring. Some holidays are rainy, or these are the hypotheses we make, that no clear days are boring. Some holidays are boring. Some holidays are not boring. Right? So even in research, so when we are inferring, we have to consider, so we have to question. And then we have to come up with the different hypotheses, different different options that we have available with us and what suits to our requirement, what we are going through, what we are actually trying to analyze. So this is explaining, this is the step 5. Stating the result, justifying the procedure, and presenting argument. Right? Should all young adults in India go to college? Say, for example, we have 5 minutes, we'll do this. So say this side of people are in favor and this side of people are not in favor. So now give me reasons why young adults in India should go to college, and this side, why young adults in India should not go to college.
Madam, some young adults, they are very poor, so they are not even in a condition to go the college because they have also for their livelihood to do the work also.
But because of that reason, they should not go to college? What do you say? Okay, why you feel they should not go to the college?
Ma'am, since it's mentioned young adults, so they will have their own ideas by that time. So entrepreneurship is rising. So rather than going to college, they can apply their own ideas, which is already developed, and they can utilize in being good entrepreneurs, start their own business.
Okay, what do you think?
Madam, can I speak?
Yes, please, go ahead. Fantastic.
Myself, Dr. Rahul Shankar. I'm working as livestock development officer in Maharashtra. I'm visiting different places at rural areas. I have seen many children. They are not going to school because they have a habit of taking drinks and like tobacco and all these things. They are busy in this area. The rural tribes are there. They are busy. They are ignoring education because of their bad habits. Their parents are also drinking and they have also habits of tobacco and drink. So
So
these
because of
habits
bad
are getting to
habit.
their bad habits getting to their child. So they are ignoring to the education.
Okay, now here, let me clarify what arguments you're giving. You're giving why they are not able to go. My question is, should they go or should they not go? Why they are not able to go? That is not my question. My point is, क्या young adults ने college में जाना चाहिए या नहीं जाना चाहिए? और ये ग्रुप बोलता है जाना चाहिए, ये ग्रुप बोलता है नहीं जाना चाहिए. So now give me the arguments. क्यों नहीं जाना चाहिए? आप बोलते हैं जाना चाहिए, क्यों जाना चाहिए? Somebody else, now from this. वो नहीं जाना चाहिए बोलता है.
Ma'am, if we see the question, it's a young adult, so he might have a basic education. So if we refer the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, most of the skills he learned are not from college. He learned most of the skills from his experience, from where he used to go different places and like try and experience different things. So most of the things you can't learn in college, the practical things. So those things you need to learn on your own and your own experiences. So
Okay.
that's what makes you, I feel that.
Okay. So do you all agree with that? Or you say no, because these are the positives of going to college, so they should go to college? Yes? Why have you come to college? Give me answers.
Ma'am, because in today's world, education is the most important factor that everyone should have to get.
Okay. So to get proper education of any subject, you should go to college. Okay. Any thoughts from here why they should not go to college? Or any thoughts from my online friends? Any other thoughts you would like to share? Yes?
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, the difference between being educated and being literate. When we go to school and colleges, we can be literate, we can know to read and write, but being educated is a little different. We can know it from our practical lives. So if we go to college, that does not mean we'll be educated. We can be literate, but otherwise we can get educated from different other sources as well.
Okay. So you can use mic and speak.
Ma'am, in this question, what is the age of young adults? So if they already learn, so there is again there is not necessary to go in the college.
Young adult, when we say it's 18, after 18, like after 12th, you go to college. So they are young, but 18, you're adult. No, but you're not going to college, na? Okay, you are in favor. Mhm. Okay.
These colleges cost more.
You can use mic so people can hear.
The colleges having no fees, they provide scholarships, they provide internships.
Which colleges are you talking about?
I told the colleges are giving based on skills and.
Now, let me break this. Now, take 1 minute pause and see how you're thinking right now. What are the points that you're not considering to favor the going to college and not in favor of going to college? What are the points that you're not considering, which will make your argument very strong? And same goes for them, which will make your argument very strong. Take 1 minute pause. Maybe you can discuss, maybe you can think what are the other data is available. Think about what other information is available and then give me some arguments. I want 3 arguments from each side now, but very strong arguments. Don't fight, huh? And if there are any thoughts from my online friends, please share it.
Ma'am, we go to college basically for documents, like to certify ourselves that we have done this course, the basic. But right now, since everything is getting online and all, there are distant learning courses as well. So one does not need to go to college. We can go for distant learning courses, stay, learn in our house. So, and that way we can also get documents. to
Very
certify.
good point. These are the kind of reasoning I'm looking for. Yes, your turn. Yes.
In distance learning, we cannot assure that the student who is taking knowledge from the distance learning is like getting proper attention. The way we get in the contact classes, the tutor is paying attention to the each and every student. He is getting the right guidance and right knowledge to qualify for that.
Okay.
Ma'am, one point is it is in the distance learning also. Not every student is paying much attention in the distance learning.
we can say in this,
Then there's
this
no point
program
na,
also.
in, getting the distance
How
learning
many
course.
people are involved in offline meeting? How many are involved in this meeting, and how many are talking from online? We can see that.
Okay, yes,
Ma'am,
all right.
one point I want to add. Sometimes college environment spoil the young adults because they are very prone to such bad things and bad habits. And from that also we can save that adult child and give them or they can focus on their career only by using distance learning, and they save time that can be used for other activities. Small activities.
Okay, good point. Yes,
In contact classes, like we get to learn new people, get to interact more. We can gain confidence. Besides in like sitting in one room and doing the distance learning, we get interactions to more people. We come in touch with more people. We can see their kind of perspective.
you're talking good. I want very structured thought process. Your points are very good, but there's one for better words to do this. Like anybody can help her. She's making good points. That generally doesn't happen.
If
Okay, good, good.
if we see today, the people who are more educated after going in colleges, doing everything, doing PG, PhD, are working. Or if you see today, someone having more experience, ideas, is leading, and someone who is working, he is getting trained to work under someone.
Okay. Any other argument from either side, or any other thought process from my online friends? Anything?
The non-educated one is hiring that educated one. Non means the who is not having. You are saying that the person sitting there is not as. He's hiring him based on his education, based on his certificates. That's what he's showing, and he's hiring.
Yes.
That also means
Anything from,
makes
yes,
sense.
anything you would like to say? Anybody from this group, my left? My right side, any other argument? Yes, no? Khatam? Thoughts khatam? Okay, see, these are something like you could say ki, going to college, meeting people, it will develop social skill, which may not happen in online studies. But you could say when they are not going to college, it does not mean that they are not socializing. So see, this is the kind of thinking you should, and you can say ki now the time is changing with the technology. People can not only majorly in certain areas, major areas, except where the in-person training is required, like in engineering, like in medical, you have to go there, you have to see that. For which again in technology you can use the technology and you can still learn medical and so these kind of, so you need to start giving the examples, you need to start giving the case, you need to start something very strong points, and that's how the argument should come up. And somewhere it happened that both of the group were like, this is right, this is wrong. So we don't have to prove anybody right or wrong. My simple question was, should they go or should they not go? If they don't, they should not go. Why they should not go to college? So what kind of benefit can have? So if they are not going to college, they can still learn. And at the same time, they can still earn. So they're getting both the experiences. You could have said if they're not going to college, then there is a chance that they might enroll to some online college, but their learning or adaptation to learning may not be that good in person. So see, now making of the sentences, the choice of the word, the examples, that are the things that you're explaining. So that's the fifth stage. So when you're explaining something, when you go to, when you were in school and still you're learning, right? So whenever you attend any lecture and when your teacher is giving example, it makes easy, right? So likewise, when we are doing these kind of discussions, so when we have examples, when we have data, so before this, when we took the example of students going to UN Council and making the, their argument or making their proposal or making their point of view. So they can just go on making stories. They have to be to the point with the example, with the data that these are the animal, the percentage was so much and now percentage is this much. And if we don't do this, and they are available in this kind of environment, and this environment is, if that is not preserved, then they will extinct by so and so time. See how strong your argument becomes, because you're explaining things. So when you're explaining, why you're explaining, so that the person should be able to understand, should be able to get what you really want to. So this is how you develop, and that is what critical thinking is all about. So this is the point. See, these are some things. Learn school songs and cheers. No, large percent of school does not have enough ability to. And these are very few points that I put up. But there are so many things that we could have discussed in this discussion. And let your thought process, and whatever thought comes to your mind, share it, at least here when we are discussing. Because there is nothing wrong and nothing right in this. So don't feel, what if I say this, and speak up. Okay? So this is what, and the sixth point is concluding. So figuring out the information which is not all is given. We have seen so many examples. The first example that I asked you to make the list, not enough information was given, right? And you need to draw the solution out of it. And say, for example, there are 3 siblings. This is the example that I've given. And there are 3 siblings, each have a different course in different areas. And so how they will go about, how the TED will decide what course each sibling should take. So these are the small examples that I have given. So when you're concluding, like in so this is the method that they have, you can probability you can use, and whatever data has been given, and you can conclude. So likewise, we were having the discussion of should they go to college or should they not go to college. So once you have explained, then you have to conclude. So because of this reason, we feel that they should go to college. And because of these reasons, we feel they should not go to college. So how you conclude your arguments, how you conclude your thoughts is very, very important. And that conclusion should be able to give you proper solution, right? And the most important thing is you should be able to ask powerful questions. Some example is here. So is this clear? All these are like small questions that you need to keep asking to yourself. Can this be expressed in a different way? We've already discussed that. Is it true? Is it accurate? Is it specific? Do we need more details? And we have seen through example, the more information I give, the more you had been able to understand and give me some quality thoughts, right? So is it logical? So these are the powerful questions you need to keep asking whenever you are doing research, you're doing your work or solving anything, you are stuck in somewhere. So these are the questions, and questioning skill is very, very important once we are doing. So we stop here for now because there's something else you need to attend to, right? No? No? Nini, there is right now you have to attend to something. What?
Anything you want?
Yes? Yes, ma'am, you were saying you're smiling, so I know you have understood what I am saying. Lunch, your hunger you have to attend to.
Yeah.
Hunger for food, hunger for knowledge after that. Yes? Okay, so we break now and we'll meet at 2?
Yes.
2 o'clock?
2 o'clock.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, after lunch we will.
Thank you.
And then, yeah, 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock.
So all of you out there will meet at 2 o'clock. So please join in. For now, you can keep your mind out and we'll see you again. Thank you.
Thank you. Online participants also. Yeah. Announcement that we will break for lunch and we will meet sharp 2 o'clock. Thank you.